At Union Park Tavern, of course.
UPT, as it's called by the hipsters, is located at 4520 8th Avenue, and they serve up great libations and award-winning food.
They're open at 11 a.m. on weekdays and 9 a.m. on weekends for a fantastic breakfast.
I forgot to mention they have musical entertainment almost every night of the week and one of the greatest beer gardens in town.
That's Union Park Tavern, 4520 8th Avenue.
Hey, Donnie, how much you pay for those glasses?
You don't want to know.
Well, you should have went to Rocket Optical Eyewear, located on the second floor of 815 57th Street. Bring in your prescription, and they will do the rest. Look for something traditional or something wacky. They have you covered at prices that won't drain the retirement fund.
Getting new frames doesn't have to be a chore. Come on down to Rocket Optical and have some fun picking out your new frames.
Visit their website at rocketopticaleyewear.com and find that link right down there in our show notes.
I can see it from here.
Life throws us curveballs, moments when we need to gather, remember, and say goodbye. It's during these times that Casey Family Options Funerals and Cremations stands with you.
They offer a wide range of affordable options, from traditional funerals to modern celebrations of life. No matter your family's wishes, they can create a meaningful tribute without breaking the bank.
But here's the thing, affordability doesn't mean they cut corners. At Casey Family Options, they believe every life deserves a beautiful send-off.
So when life throws you a curveball, remember, you're not alone. Casey Family Options Funerals and Cremations. Affordable care with endless compassion.
Visit them online at caseyfamilyoptions.com or call them today for a free consultation, 262-653-0667.
Since returning to Kenosha after college, today's guest has been looking for ways to improve his hometown. Last year, he launched the In Crowd, and the first Keno Nite Market was held. This summer, his market has moved to the fabulous Penoria Park Bandshell. Today, we connect with Jaramie Bentley. Cue that music! Welcome,
Jeez.
everybody.
I was rushing around to get that beer to open it up there.
You just
I forgot. I was
grabbed
like, oh, shoot, I got to get this beer.
Public craft beer just in time to crack it open after that great theme song by Droppin' Daisies.
Next season, I'm adding a sound effect. I'm not, because I still have a little bit of beer. And what kind of beers are we drinking here, Tommy?
Oh, my goodness gracious. We are drinking some Public Craft Brewing Company beers. We are drinking the Amber Sunrise Amber Ale, and it is great.
That's right. It's Public Craft Brewing Company. They're located downtown Kenosha, 628 58th Street. Their website is publiccraftbrewing.com.
For now.
Yeah.
Recently bought by Lakefront Brewing Company out of Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
They
there's...
say they want to keep things as usual, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we still have a bunch of coupons for free beer, so...
They're our sponsor for the rest of the season, so do we have to rush in there and cash all these in right now, or...
Who knows?
I don't know.
I'm not taking them out of the promo pieces, I'll tell you that much.
Well, I feel bad for Matt, having to go through that. I'm sure he's having troubles.
Well, I'm sure you got paid off pretty well.
Because it's delicious beer.
Yes, it really is.
And I just hope it will continue to exist.
They said nothing's going to change except for the staff.
Well...
We'll see what happens, right?
Publiccraftbrewing.com.
Yes, great food, great beer, great spirits, great atmosphere in downtown Kenosha.
But then where are we at, Donnie?
Oh, my goodness gracious. We are at the A-Plus Mobility Recording Studio in downtown Kenosha.
That's right. A-Plus Mobility is the area's newest mobility and home medical equipment store. Ashley has the knowledge to help you make the right choices for yourself and your loved ones. Mm-hmm. That's A-Plus Mobility, 2324 18th Street. Visit their website at aplusmobilitysolutions.com for more.
Yes, thank you,
Ashley.
A-Plus Mobility. Thank you so much.
Oh, I just realized.
What's that, Jason?
The A stands for Ashley.
Yeah, A+.
Not just A+. I thought it was like A+ grade, but her name is Ashley, so it's Ashley.
Because she's an A+
Mobility.
person in an A+ business. That is why. Thank you, Ashley, for your sponsorship for this great studio we have. Well, Jason, we got a great show lined up.
We also forgot to thank Dropping Daisies for that great theme song.
You know what?
I threw things on order this time, so I threw you for a loop.
Yes, you did.
We do things usually in order, and I kind of...
But thank you, Dropping Daisies. Jaramie, that was a rocking song, huh?
I like that.
I mean, thank you, Dropping Daisies.
Yeah, local band did that for us. Great job.
Did you know it's number one on the charts?
What's that?
That song, number one on the charts.
What charts would that be?
The Donnie Stancato chart.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And also number one in your heart.
Yeah, always number one in my heart. That's so true. All right, Jason, what we got going on today here?
Well, we're here talking with Jaramie Bentley. He is of the In Crowd. It's a local company of sorts, an organization, event kind of thing. We're going to talk to him about that.
Media company.
Kind of find out what he's doing with that. But first, we're going to talk to Jaramie here. He's like a lifelong Kenoshan here. Yep. And so we got to get to know him a little bit. So you were born in Milwaukee, but then you came to Kenosha right away when you were a kid. So you grew up here in Kenosha?
Yep. Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me.
Oh,
Thanks
cool.
for that great introduction. Yeah, so my family was already here. My dad, he moved here, I believe like in his early 20s, from Mississippi. He came here looking for work, and he had family members that came from Mississippi earlier, and they were working at Chrysler, so they told him, there's opportunity here, and he came up and took it. And then in the process, my uncle, my mom's uncle, was working at Chrysler too, and they ended up meeting, and then so happens that he had met my mom through, my uncle.
That's funny. We've been doing this show for a long time, and we heard the same kind of story from a lot of people. Their family came here looking for work at the time, and they worked at AMC. It's cool. It's cool to hear about the history and how how universal it is, and how so many people are affected by that. That's cool. So you kind of grew up as an AMC kid, kind of.
Definitely.
That's right. It closed up when you were pretty young, though.
Yeah, really young. But my dad, he's a mechanic, self-taught mechanic. So he's always been into cars. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So, the AMC thing, we would always go to the company barbecues and stuff like that. So that was a connection with that. But then, I remember a couple of times as a kid, we went to go bring your kid to work, and we got to see the factory. That was pretty cool.
Neat.
Like I said, him just being into cars, that kind of like got us into cars. So the Hot Wheels and stuff like that as a kid.
That's cool.
Can't remember those little model cars you could build and drive them around when we were kids, but we used to have those and stuff all the time too. Yeah, he was definitely my inspiration. Is like my car love.
He was your inspiration in other ways too, wasn't he?
Oh, definitely. So that was my piece with him. With he helped people through being a mechanic. So I don't know if you guys know, like the term is a hood mechanic. Like he goes around to your house and fixes your car instead of you bringing it to the shop.
Yeah.
So my dad did that. I mean, he's been doing that since I've been alive. Like between Chicago and Milwaukee, if people call, he'll do what he can to help them out. Give them a little bit better price than they would find in the shop.
For sure. And come right there and do it right in your driveway.
Exactly. And so no matter the weather, he'd be out there in the snow, all kind of different things, helping people out. So that was kind of like my inspiration. I was like, man, like this is a selfless man,
Yeah. And it's hard to find a good mechanic, a trustworthy mechanic.
Definitely.
That's great.
Definitely. And he, like I said, he's self-taught, and people just rave about the work that he does. Oh, he fixed this car. I never thought I would be able to get it fixed, or things like that. So that was my inspiration. I always looked up to my dad in that way.
Yeah, cool. Were you a large family or a small family? Or
large family, I guess. I have four brothers, one sister.
Wow, okay.
Yep.
Where were you in the ranking?
In the middle.
Okay.
Yep, me and my sister are in the middle. Yep. So.
All right, cool.
You're here in Kenosha. What made you and your family kind of fall in love with Kenosha?
For me, I think it was just like the small town community feel. So I grew up in the Forest Park neighborhood, and at that time when I was a kid, like we were really probably the only black family in that neighborhood, probably one or two other families. But what started to get me in love with Kenosha when I started to go into Forest Park, the friends that I made, I would go to their families and they would just embrace me like I was no different, like I was one of their kids. And the reason why I say that is because just going to the parks and different things like that, we would have issues with racism and different things like that. So once I started to have that other side of the experience, it started making me feel like, Kenosha could be different,
Okay. Okay, I have a question for you right now. And if you don't want to answer this, we can take this, cut this out. But have you seen Corey Elijah's recent video about Kenosha?
Nope. I seen it. I started to watch it, but I didn't finish it. But I have to go back and look now since you brought it up.
I was curious about your opinion about that. He kind of said that he wouldn't recommend a black person to move to Kenosha because it's so racist. And he had like a little speech he did, but focusing on that. But right, Don, that's pretty much what he says.
Yes, correct.
And I was just wondering if Kenosha is actually worse. But then where do you compare it to? If it is it worse here than other places, or is it better? Is it in the middle? I kind of thought it'd be in the middle somewhere, but I don't know.
I feel like there's there's an element of like underlying racism. It's not like right in your face, blatant, I don't like you. It's more of like in the job hunt. If you're up against someone of opposite race, like, are you going to be able to get that job? Or I can give you the best.
Don't get a license or something.
I'll give you the best example. So like I said, for me, starting in the music, that's how I got started in doing events and things like that. And, so 2011, 2012, like I really had a good run as far as doing hip hop shows in Kenosha. And I guess some things happened, violence or whatever, but it became like a crusade to shut down anything associated with hip hop in the city. And so that became my issue. Is like, well, regardless of if it's hip hop, regardless if I'm a black male, this is my livelihood. This is how I'm choosing to earn a living. And you're blocking that because how you feel about a genre of music. You know?
Yeah.
And so
there's a couple bad apples, then everybody else has to take the consequences.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I always felt like that was like discrimination on some level, but that's kind of like the reason why I'm starting back up and doing what I'm doing now.
Good.
All right, so you're growing up in Kenosha. Where did you go to school?
I went to Forest Park Elementary. My middle school years are kind of rocky. I went to what school did I go to first? Christian Life.
Hey, I went there for a little bit.
Oh, boy.
That was a wackadoodle place, huh?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I was told to never come back after my first year.
I got kicked out of there.
Yeah, me too.
It was great.
Oh boy.
Oh, that fucking place is
Here
weird.
we go on
man.
down these 10 minutes Christian Life rant.
Holy
Well, yeah. Then after I was told never to come back, my mom sent me to Paideia Academy, which was like right downtown next to Ruther. It was like, they tore the building down now, but it was a very small school, and I made it through like halfway through the year, and I got expelled from there.
Oh boy.
okay. Troublemaker, huh?
I'm a free thinker and free spirit. I
like the way you turned that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So I think that was the issue, and then from there, high school, I ended up going to ITA for 2 years, and I was told never to come back there. And then I finished up at Bradford.
Okay. Bradford kicked me out. I went to Ruther, so.
Oh, wow. What could you have been doing at Bradford to get kicked out?
Yeah. I just.
Weren't you banging
Free
a couple
thinker.
of the teachers? Yeah, free thinker. I like it. Free thinker. I like that.
That's all. It's a free thinker.
So when you're going to Bradford,
Is that when you got into basketball?
yeah.
I've been in basketball my whole life.
Oh, okay.
As far as I can remember, my oldest brother, he said I've been dribbling in basketball since I was about 3 years old.
Yeah.
Yep. So
You were quite a player back then.
yeah, I love basketball, man. That's my passion.
Is that what got you into college then? Or did you?
Yeah, pursuing college. Yeah, like obviously things didn't work out the way I wanted to in high school, but I was like, still my dream. I'm going to push towards it. So I had a buddy that went to Bradford too, a couple years ahead of me, and he went up to it was Hibbing Community College in Hibbing, Minnesota. I think their claim to fame is that they have Kevin McHale came from there and Bob Dylan was born there.
Oh, okay.
So other than that,
Kevin McHale.
so other than that, I think they got like maybe 300 people that live in the whole town.
Kevin McHale, is he the guy at the Navy?
No, he was played for the Boston Celtics.
Celtics,
Yes. I see where you get confused there.
But yeah, buddy, he told me to come up there. You know, it was a good opportunity. Like, I don't know how familiar you guys are with sports and
Him more than I. But
yeah, so pretty much like people use the JUCO junior college route to kind of like build a name for yourself, and then you can transfer to a D1 college or more known school.
Okay, cool.
So that was the route, and
Yeah.
that didn't really work out either.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what got you in the basketball? So you're dribbling when you were like 3 years old. Was your dad in the basketball, and that's where you got the love from? Or?
No, my dad was always into keeping us active. He was he ran track, and so we would always go for walks and ride our bikes and things with him, go to the park. But my older siblings were definitely my motivation for playing basketball. Like my oldest brother, he was basketball and football.
Okay.
And then my brother that was right before me, he was 4 years older, so pretty much anything he did, I followed him like a little lost puppy. So he really got me into it.
All right, favorite basketball player growing up then?
My favorite, it changes, but I guess I would say like Tracy McGrady probably.
Oh, Tracy McGrady. He would have had a hell of a career if he didn't get hurt.
Definitely.
I mean, him and Penny Hardaway,
Yep.
too, as well. They
Yep.
would have been crazy good.
It's something about that number one. Bad luck on
Grant
the Orlando
Hill, too.
Magic.
I was a big fan of Grant Hill growing up. Oh, my God. He could have been so good. Oh, here we go.
You guys are gonna the trivia. You guys are gonna the trivia's gonna be tough.
My favorite player, because I'm a basketball fan growing up. My favorite was Christian Laettner from
Christian
Duke.
Laettner.
Even though he's such a fucking dick licker.
Oh man, he was terrible in the NBA.
I know he was the fucking worst, but I'm still looking for my Christian Laettner on the Atlanta Hawks jersey. I want to get that because back then that jersey was fucking fire.
Yeah. I could probably find that for
If
you.
you see one, message me and
Gotcha.
I will get it.
I'm guessing by his Donnie style, it's probably not fire. It's probably like
Is that
orange.
the one with the big hawk across
Yeah,
it?
kind of hawk, and I think it's a bunch of different colors. I mean, it was.
I'm sure it's a bunch of different colors.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was pretty different back then. Yeah. All right. So you're playing basketball. This is kind of your dream, right? When did?
But you're still going to college, so what were you kind of think about studying for college? Or do you have a plan for that, or just kind of like?
I was studying women.
All right.
No, I didn't really even care about the school part of. I would never pretend to be like academically passionate.
You know, big dreams. You're shooting for the stars.
Yeah. I knew it was necessary to get to where I'm going, but I just always felt like, I could do the bare minimum and skate by.
Yeah.
So it kind of failed me when I went to college, and I didn't have any motivation, any type of discipline as far as studying or anything. You know.
Oh yeah.
So the coursework was probably easy, but I wasn't ready for it.
So is that what brought you back to Kenosha after that, or
no? Actually, so I'll tell you the journey. Yep.
Yeah.
I went to Minnesota for 2 years, and then when I came back, I didn't move back to Kenosha right away. I actually lived in Green Bay, and that's where my oldest brother lives at.
Oh, okay.
So the plan there was to go back there and work with him and train and get ready to try basketball again. And I was going to try to go to maybe a UW University school. You know.
Wow. Okay.
And in the process, just kind of got caught up in work. I was working at Best Buy at the time, and then I ended up getting a job working at the Oneida Casino. So it's kind of like school was on the back burner at that point, you know.
Yeah, you're just working to pay the bills and trying to get your dreams in. And
at that time, I didn't have any kids, I didn't have a responsibility, so it wasn't necessarily to pay the bills. It was just for the love of money. And I was So my brother, he's kind of like more passionate about cars than me, and so when I went there, living there, he was like doing car shows and fixing up his car. So that became like part of my, I want to match him with the car. So let me get my money up so I can buy a car and do all these different things, you know. Right. And so through all these experiences, I'm just finding out more and more like who I'm not, you know?
Yeah. What kind of lessons have you taken away from your younger self?
Not to be so gullible and trusting of people.
Okay.
I just feel like I've always take people at face value because I try to show up and be so authentic and genuine that I expect that from other people. And I guess throughout my life experience so far, it's been shown to me like you definitely can't do that.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah.
Why'd you come on the show?
All right, I think it's about time we take our first break. We'll be right back with more with Jaramie Bentley and how he started the In Crowd and the Keno Nite Market right after this word from our sponsor. Hey, Donnie, you want to help me move this weekend? Don't be that guy.
Your friends do not want to spend all day lugging your crap around for a few beers and pizza.
When you're looking to relocate, call on About Time Moving Systems. They have over 20 years of trusted 5-star experience.
Find them online at AboutTimeMoving.com. Your friends and your body will thank you. Oh no, I got pulled over again!
Well, you better call Parise. That's the law offices of Frank J. Parise. Frank and his team specialize in misdemeanors, felonies, DUIs, drug charges, domestic violence, and juvenile law.
Don't settle for any fly-by-night attorney you may find on a Google search.
Call the best, and that is the law offices of Frank J. Parise.
Call now, 262-656-9900, or send Frank and his team an email at fparise@fjpllc.com.
You'll be glad you called Frank Parise. And we're back from that break.
And what a break it was!
And we're here with Jaramie Bentley of the In Crowd,
a.k.a. Keno Nite Market.
Well, the In Crowd created the Keno Nite Market.
Yes.
That's the man behind the mask kind of thing. You know?
Yes, and we're going to get into that, but we want to know how you came back to Kenosha.
Sure.
Yeah, that's where we left you here before the break. So yeah, you were.
I think I was in Green Bay at the time.
Yeah. Before Donnie interrupted you there.
No, so after leaving Minnesota, I went to Green Bay and I stayed there. And like I said, I was working. I started off like pursuing basketball. Once money started rolling in, it kind of like distracted me away from that. And then in the process of me being in Green Bay, I also turned 21, so I was able to go to the bar, and that kind of just a huge distraction.
Yeah. Been there.
So I was there, I think maybe about a year, maybe not even that long, but ended up coming back, and I didn't even come back straight to Kenosha. I ended up going to Racine, and I lived in Racine for about a year, and I met my kid's mom, my 2 kids that I told you I live in Colorado. Okay. She was going to school in Chicago. She was from Colorado. We met. She got pregnant with my son. And so she ended up moving back out to Colorado to be closer to her mom with the pregnancy or whatever.
Oh, boy.
And so then once he was born, it was kind of like, okay, where are we going to live at? Are we going to live here? Are we going to live there?
Yeah.
I had the same friend that invited me to Minnesota.
So you're still together when she was living out
Yep.
there then.
Yep.
So you guys had a good relationship, but you were still torn between what you're going to do.
Definitely.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing was like, she wanted to be close to her mom, and I was like, well, I need to start trying to find a job, and get ready for this kid. But we weren't sure where we wanted to live. And, the same friend that invited me to live in Minnesota to go to school there, he was now living in Nebraska. He had a brother that lived out there and was saying Omaha, Nebraska was a great place to raise your start a family, raise kids and stuff.
Okay.
So we made the choice to go out to Omaha, Nebraska just on a whim,
Wow.
Yeah. And it was an amazing experience. I think
Really?
I lived there for like 5 years. It was great. Yeah, I can't say
Omaha, Nebraska.
I cannot say a bad thing about Omaha, Nebraska.
I drove through there one day and it was boring as
You got to stop, man.
Yeah, I guess so.
My favorite band, Bright Eyes, is from there.
Bright Eyes.
Oh, God.
Emo band.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never heard of them.
Second favorite band.
Okay.
But in Omaha, I was still kind of like heavy, just playing basketball and stuff like that. But that's when I got into the music scene. Like I really started taking music serious, and we were doing shows and going to open mics and getting booked and
cool.
stuff like that. It was me and 3 other of my friends, and we started a group called the Freedom Finders, and it was hip hop, but it was like really conscious and like positive, like. I guess you would call it like hippie rap. If the best way to describe it. You know what I mean?
All right.
So were you always in the music before that, and this is just like, I'm going to do this now?
What I can say is that I've always been in music because I was in church. My mom, my sister sing, but kind of what we say is like the Brantley family, we're just musically inclined. Like we just have musical talent in our family no matter what. I don't know what that is, but it's just that way. So I never thought about it because I was so focused on basketball, but music was always something I was passionate about. And so then when I went out there, I just started getting into like the production part of it and the engineering, and that made it possible.
Cool.
Now know how to record, people know how to make beats. Now it makes it easier. So I was like, I'm just doing this all the time now, just making songs, and we were getting pretty popular.
Oh, nice.
But being in a band.
Yeah, you can find your music at Jaramie the Great.
Yep.
And it's spelled the same way as it's spelled right in the show notes. You can see how it's spelled. You can find that on Bandcamp. I found your music there.
Yep.
Some cool tunes on there.
Yeah,
But it's been a while since you've done it, though. It's kind of...
I actually have some stuff on Spotify and like Apple Music, but that's under... so I changed my music name from Jaramie the Great to Great the Man.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I did see that kind of different in there, yeah.
Yep, and so that music it's not as much music, but that's on Spotify and Apple Music and stuff like that.
Why did you change?
Because I've seen a lot of artists using that moniker, The Great, and so I'm all about like authenticity and being original.
Different.
Yeah. So I just wanted to basically give something real, and
it's hard to do that though. Be original,
dude.
Much. It's that so name, it's been done,
That name came to me though, so that's why I went with it. Is like you said, I was searching for something original, and Great the Man. I feel like it just summed up everything that I wanted to represent. Like I'm a man, and I guess being great by being who I am and not trying to be anybody else, which makes me great. You know what I mean? So that's what it means.
What makes you great?
I'm just being myself, being true to what I feel and what I think. You know what I mean? And not trying to be anybody else. I think that makes everybody great.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
All right, let's fast forward a little bit to the in crowd.
Well, do we get him in Kenosha? Is he in Kenosha now?
You're in Kenosha, are you?
So so
let's make sure we're still.
Let's fast forward 5 years in there. I had another kid in there. Fast forward, and then I ended up coming.
Yeah, I think we were left with you and your woman were kind of deciding where you're going to live.
Yep,
right?
Yep. Yeah. So we moved out to Nebraska. We were there for about 5 years. We had another kid in the process, but then the process we ended up splitting ways, and so in that split, that's when I ended up coming back to Wisconsin.
Ah, okay, all right, okay. And you just kind of came back to be with the family, kind of thing. You're like,
just kind of
start, kind of.
Yeah, and the mom told me like, I think it's time for you to get a restart. So I listened to my mom and came on back.
Moms are right.
Yeah, always.
Were you glad to be back, or was it kind of some adjusting?
It was kind of two-part.
Like both, right.
So it kind of goes into the in-crowd thing, but this is like obviously way before. But I was happy to be back because it was familiar, being around family. I didn't have anybody out there, maybe one friend. Like I had people that I met in Omaha, but nobody that I grew up with. So it was good to be around my family again. But also being in Kenosha, and just like we both know, like there's really nothing to do. So going from Omaha, which seems like it'd be like just cornfields and stuff, like they got a great,
gotta be a city there, right?
No, it's really nice. They got a lot going on consistently, It's kind of like similar to Milwaukee, I would say.
Yeah. Okay.
But then coming back here, and after having that experience, it's kind of like, well, why can't we do the same things? You know what I mean? And in Kenosha that they're doing out there in Omaha, and that was kind of like the start of me starting with the music and getting shows going.
Cool. What was your first Kenosha show? Do you remember it?
Yep. So it was at the bar is gone now. It used to be. No, it's not. It's what the hell is the bar called? Finney's. It was when it was right there on 60th and 22nd. Though.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yes.
yeah. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep.
Were you upstairs or in the basement?
In the basement.
Oh,
yep.
yeah.
Yep. Some guys that I
That's
knew.
a cool, weird room down there, isn't
man,
it?
it is nice. So dude, I could tell stories about that, but pretty much how that got started, it was some guys that I knew that were friends with my brother, and they just invited me to be in a show they were putting together.
Okay.
And so I did the show. It got great reviews from the guy that owned the bar, and so I talked to him about like setting up my own shows, and then I just started doing showcases for about a year and a half from there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
just highlighting local hip hop artists.
Nice. Was that when Gordy and Tracy owned it?
I believe so.
Okay, they're the ones that own Hat Tricks too, because I know they did some hip hop shows there for a while, so they had some cool stuff going on there.
It was a little bit probably before them. I can't remember the guy's name.
It wasn't Finney's when they owned it; it was something else, but it was the same building. But yeah, cool little room down there.
Oh, it's really nice.
Really weird, but I don't know if it's nice. It's cool. I don't know if it's nice.
Well, I had that thing packed out, like I said, for over a year, just so it was nice for my pockets.
It was a nice experience. Yeah. Just the room, because you walk down to the low ceiling first, and you walk into the bigger room down there. It's like it just seems like a speakeasy kind of thing, you know? Like, is this legal down here?
I think that's why I liked it, because it was like that, you know. It was like
cool character, right?
Yep, private.
Yeah.
Almost like it was like you don't know about this unless you know about it, you know.
Exactly. That's why I love that place too. So, how did you get involved with Francisco at the Creative Space?
Actually, I started just going up there. A friend of mine, Steve Sauer, he was working with the Creative Space. That's how I found out about it. He brought me up there and just kind of helped starting volunteering and different things like that.
Okay.
And I kind of fell back again, and then Ron Dean Brown, he kind of brought me back into the space and connected me with Francisco, and just in the helping out aspect. We did, I think, maybe one karaoke night there with the in crowd, but that was about it.
Okay. Were you involved in some other events there, or that was about it, huh?
That was about it, yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I just helped out behind the scenes, but nothing. Yeah, nothing.
The big time. But you're kind of learning, though, seeing the events being happen and seeing what worked, what didn't work, things like that. You're kind of getting ready for what you would become, right?
Yeah, getting a feel for kind of how Kenosha and the community has grown since I had been gone. You know what I mean? And it just showed me like there is kind of like that crowd that I was looking to create through the hip hop, or just like through the nightlife scene of like diversity or just open mindedness, inclusiveness. Yeah, they were having that at the Creative Space, so that was kind of like, oh, for sure. Well, I know that it's happening in Kenosha, so I know there's a demand for it.
How was it working with Francisco there?
Pretty smooth.
Okay,
pretty smooth.
Donnie has mixed emotions about Francisco.
Well, I do too. So the things that I was able to help him out with, like it went really good. But there were other things that I wanted to do that he kind of like gave me the runaround on. So that's the conversation me and Francisco have when I see him. But so that's part of the reason why I ended up going to the Rhodey Theater into the Vault, because we initially wanted to start doing things at the Creative Space, but we just couldn't get up.
I think the Creative Space is great for Kenosha. I really do. I just wish there was, I don't know how to properly say this. Oh boy. Under better management, so to speak. I mean, because the potential could be through the roof there.
I
with
agree.
Everything that they do there.
I agree.
Communities would die for something like that. And we have it, and I don't think it's being used to its full potential. That's all I'll say about it.
Yeah, they got to take the training wheels off.
Yeah, I mean, just go full force.
Yep.
Just, stop living in the basement, Francisco, and let's get this show on the road.
Well,
I don't know if he is anymore. Okay.
The place is pretty small, so it's like limited on what they can do there, and they can only pack so many people in there,
But they have so much backing. That's what the ability to do block parties and stuff like that.
That's true, yeah.
So like I agree. Like me and Ron, we even talked about like they could be doing movies on the side of the building right there in that little grass.
Little field.
I think one of the best things that they did, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, they had the band Lund played on the rooftop. They did like a couple Beatles songs that kind of redid that. And why aren't they doing more of something like that? Because that is just, even if you don't even care about this fucking band or anything, but there's a fucking band playing on a fucking rooftop. I'd go out to see anybody.
So does the Creative Space own the grassy area next door?
I don't think so.
Because there's signs up that say no trespassing, like right on the sidewalk.
No, it's city.
Because I walk by with my niece, I always push her because it says like you can't do not cross this line. I always nudge her and push her into the grass.
See, that's why I thought
you're breaking the law.
I just figure like it's the Creative Space, it's a community space. They would
should be,
who's gonna really?
Yeah, but with the signs up, I'm like, oh man, it's kind of somebody's kind of.
So how did you meet our old friend Ron Brown?
Ron Brown. So Ron Brown, actually, that relationship goes back to high school.
Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't actually know him personally. He came into my family through my first cousins that he was pretty good friends with, and my aunt ended up taking him in, kind of adopted him in during his teenage years.
Okay.
So that's where I met him.
Cool.
And we weren't even really close during the high school years, but when I came back in 2011, that's when we kind of built the friendship through some tragic things that happened in both of our life. His brother ended up passing away tragically. My brother ended up being incarcerated, and so that kind of brought us to closer together.
That's a whole other show. That's a whole other topic.
Yeah, we don't even want to have to get into that one. Yeah.
No. I hear you. I read about that one.
Yeah, some of our listeners might know Ron Brown was helped us out on our Christmas Carol a couple of years ago.
Yeah. You give a hand with that. He was a participant in the show.
Yeah, he did great.
He's a good friend of the show. He's just a all-around Kenosha supporter kind of thing.
Yes, loves everything Kenosha.
Yeah, he's definitely selfless when it comes to supporting the city.
Yeah. So we love you, Ron. Thank you.
All right, so how did you decide to start the In Crowd? Now, tell us how it started, what it is, and what do you want it to be?
Sure.
Well, we'll take one thing, take a step at a time here, Tommy. We got to fill a couple minutes here, so.
For sure. So the way that it got started was, like I said, I had that initial event, the karaoke that was a few years back at the Creative Space. And so I was just sitting around one day, and I came up with the idea of the In Crowd. And, so I was like, I want to incorporate Ron, and I have another cousin, Ron. He's a DJ, local DJ Droop. And so I was like, I was telling them like, hey, we could start this organization and kind of do the things that we were already doing. So these guys at the time, they were kind of like doing like promotions. Ron had the thing going on at Coins, my cousin DJ, and obviously, and I was like, let's just turn this into something that's actually an accredited business, an LLC, where we can actually,
all
grow.
under one umbrella.
Yeah, we can grow it. You know what I mean? And, so that was our first, initial event. After that, things kind of slowed down and we kind of went in our own directions with our own personal lives or whatever. And then, so I think last year in July, Ron and I were just kind of bar hopping, and we were headed from down 60th Street to Sheridan. We were going downtown, and we were turning out to Sheridan and ended up getting hit by a drunk driver.
So it wasn't. I did hear about.
Yeah, it wasn't a head on or anything like that. But
Ron got hurt pretty bad, didn't he?
Yeah, we pretty much ended up having the same injury, like some neck issues or whatever. And so through that, I wasn't able to do that job. I was telling you guys that I had the driving job because it was like so physically demanding. So I had to take time off from that. And
oh boy.
So at this time, I'm trying to get creative with my income, and I'm like, man, I got these ideas. I open up the notebook, and there's the In Crowd.
Yep.
And so we start talking about it, and I'm telling them like, dude, like we're both kind of sitting at home right now. We're not doing anything. Let's try it. Let's give it a try.
Hell yeah.
And so, so Baron and Rebecca that do the spiritual awakening market at the
Baron.
Yep, at the Rhodey Theater. My girlfriend had vented there, and they kind of told me the process of like how they got it started and gave me a name to follow. And this was probably like months before. And so now this comes up now. Oh, let me reach out to this resource, see if I can find a venue for this first event, And I reach out, I write a proposal to the Rhodey Theater, and they're all open for it,
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yep. And so that was the first event that we came up with. It was kind of like just supposed to be kind of like a Kickstarter, like letting people know this is the Keno Nite or the In Crowd. And, my idea was with the Keno Nite Market was like, we can use this as a template or as a resume, what we're capable of doing. Because the company was supposed to be not just doing events, but helping other smaller businesses promote their business, get more engagement, get more attention, I guess,
Okay.
And so we're like, this could be a resume to let people know, like, we actually know what we're doing.
A marketing company / event company.
Exactly.
Almost. Okay.
Yeah.
I like this.
I like to call it like brand identity,
I like that.
So, we started it, and I feel like it just kind of took a life of its own,
When you launched, though, wasn't it on like a Wednesday or Thursday night?
No,
it was during the week, wasn't it?
I think the first one might have been Thursday or Friday or something weird.
Not Friday,
it might have been a Wednesday. It was
the middle of the week. I remember it was a weird day. I was like, why are they doing it in that weird?
Because that's all they had available.
Okay.
So the Rhodey Theater, they got their own plays and stuff that run on the season.
I've been there. Yeah, volunteer there.
So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's hard to get a date booked unless it's specific timetables.
Okay.
Yeah, plus you're like, first couple ones, we got to test run. Let's see how this goes. Work out all the kinks.
Yeah, and so the Keno Nite Market idea came from, once again, my girlfriend. She doing the vending stuff, and she vended at the Milwaukee Night Market. And I was there. I helped her, load her.
Hey, you got to give her a shout out now.
So Lynette Brown, she's the owner of Beauty from the Root. It's a holistic skincare company, all organic. It's, I would say, support. They have products at Regimen in Milwaukee. Look them up online, Beauty from the Root.
we talked on the Patreon version and we made you a plugger.
Mm-hmm.
When we asked you your favorite smell you ever smelled, you said it was your lady. So if you want to listen to that, go to KenoNite.com.
But yeah, she also was a yoga instructor. So
Cool. I gotta see a picture of her now.
You brought him. You should have brought her.
So you and Ron Brown are you got this first Keno Market. You got the first Keno Market going at the Roadie, and you guys are like, okay, we're gonna launch this on a weekday. How did that first market go? How nervous were you?
Extremely nervous. Because I had never done anything like that. I have experience, like I said, setting up shows and nightlife events, but never anything that's community or family. So that was my main thing, is like I didn't want anything to be too outside of bounds. I didn't want anybody to come here and make anybody feel uncomfortable. But the event went amazing. I think we only maybe had like 10, 13 vendors, but
that's good. Just starting off.
Mm-hmm. And we probably had maybe like 200 people show up that first night.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Did you charge people the first time?
Nope.
Weren't you charging one time?
No. We thought about charging, but we never did, because I was like, we just wanted to have the
Did you announce you were charging me at first?
Maybe.
I saw that. I remember seeing it. I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm smart, not to, yeah.
We were thinking about, like I said, this was like us finding ways to like make money when we weren't able to work, you know?
Yeah.
And so,
but, you get vendors to pay for it. And,
Yeah, we kind of wrestled with that idea of charging for it, but then initially we just kind of like, let the people come in. We'll make our money eventually, if we do the right thing.
For sure. Yeah, exactly.
So it's pretty much you and Ron getting these vendors and these sponsors. I mean, and that's kind of fun, and it's kind of stressful.
Oh man, dealing with the vendors is the most stressful part, because you got people that they say they want to do things and then they change their mind, or they're they're unorganized, so now they come in last minute. Oh, I forgot that I want to do it. So
right.
Within all of that, you're still trying to organize this event and promote it for the community to basically be aware of it, and it's like it's a lot. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm just used to telling the artists, hey, if you want to be in, you need to be here. Your set time is this time. Yep. It's from this time to this time. And if they don't show up, we just move on without them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But now if it's a vendor event and a vendor doesn't show up, we got a huge space here, and people are kind of looking at that as like, well, what's going on with that?
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, with my events or anything that I do, it's always about that first image or first impression, I guess. You know what I mean? Like you can't come back from that.
Yeah.
I always said if I did an event like that and somebody like just ghosted, a couple of people ghosted the event, you put a sign up, blow cool candles, Bear Nelson, no show, my son of a bitch. Now Baron's cool, you would never do that.
Whoever it was.
Call them out.
Yeah, just call them out. Hey, it's free press for you, motherfucker.
So, Jaramie, you launched the first Keno Nite Market was November 9th, 2023. And about that same time, you developed a relationship with The Spot for a turkey giveaway. How'd you get involved with The Spot?
I can't take any credit for that. That was 100% Ron.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
he did turkey giveaways for 10 families or something?
Yep.
Awesome.
They had to give away 10 turkeys. So, Ron, he's really active on social media or whatever. And so he's always engaging. And I think he, in a polite way, critiqued one of The Spot's social media post. Okay. And so the owners reached out to him and said, hey, well, what do you think we can do better? And that kind of just built into a dialogue where they were like, well, come on in and help us,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can I ask why Ron isn't involved anymore?
Ron, well, I would just say like he kind of has some different ideas where he wanted to take things. I don't feel like the Keno Nite Market was the thing that he really wanted to put this much energy, and it kind of like became the focus of our business. Like where I think he's more into the nightlife scene, you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
And so, we just made an agreement to like just go our separate ways on the business part of it. But I mean, if whatever he does, I'm always going to support him.
Okay,
I hope he knows that,
Well, maybe he'll get his own thing going. You guys can work together someday and make even a bigger, better thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
The summer 2024, you moved outdoors. You've been indoors at the rodeo all winter long. You've been once a month, right?
Yeah.
You're doing all the winter time, getting a good response. Everything's building up. So were you looking ahead and thinking you're going to take this outdoors? Is that your plan?
Yeah, that was my vision. I think like maybe after the first couple, I was kind of like, well, where are we going with this? After I seen, like I said, it was taking legs of its own. I'm like, well, what is this building up to? Are we going to continue to do this inside? And like I said, I kind of seen, this is not a knock on them, but I kind of seen where the spiritual awakening market is. And it's kind of like they're struggling to get the foot traffic. And so it seems like when it's warm outside, people want to be outside. So it's like, what's the process of getting this done, you know? Mm-hmm. And it was kind of a headache, you know, dealing with the city to get all the requirements or whatever, but it was well worth it.
Wow. So, but you made it. You got it. So,
Yep.
Bandshell's a great place.
Oh, it's beautiful. I picked it. I feel like it's beautiful, and it's underutilized. You know?
Why would you have struggles with the city though? If you, you got your permits, got things like that. You've been doing this event. Why would you have problems with the city?
It's just, it wasn't problems. I wouldn't say that. It's just a lot of work.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, I get it.
They don't make it easy for you.
I'm just like, man,
they really don't.
I want to do this for the community. I'm thinking like, hey, everybody should be like, hey, how can we help you?
Okay.
And more, they're just putting up, well, in order to do this, you got to do this. In order to do this, you got to do this.
But then you should have did this first. I mean, it's always a runaround.
No, but I work with Chris Coachman. She works in the mail.
Yep,
she's an amazing person. You know, so she helped me. She was kind of like answering any questions I needed, and I don't think I could have done it without her. So I give her a shout out.
Yeah, she's great.
She bought some of my art yesterday at the good old summertime art fair.
Oh, nice. I can't wait to make fun of her.
Spent a few bucks. Yeah, she's awesome.
All right, so you're moving this outdoors. You're at the Bandshell. That was always your dream outside there. How is the setup there? I mean,
so I kind of had a vision, and I kind of had to adjust a little bit. But the setup now is like so. Obviously, you know where the stage is, and then over that little hill, they have those permanent, I guess, vendor stations, you want to call it?
Kiosks, yeah.
Yep. So I have the vendor set up on that sidewalk that goes along with those kiosks and near the playground.
Okay.
And eventually, I'm hoping to have the vendors wrap completely around the Bandshell area, that walkway, the sidewalk area, you know.
Okay.
And then as it grows, we still have that huge field over there behind it. So that's probably where the vendors will go if it gets any bigger than where they can't fit around the Bandshell. We were supposed to have probably maybe 40 vendors at the first one, but a lot of people were out of town for Memorial Day weekend and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm anticipating like an uptick in the vendors, and obviously people coming too, you know.
And it's on the fourth Saturday of every month. Next one's June 22nd, then July 27th, August 24th, September 28th. And what are the hours on that? 4 to 10. 4 to 10.
I like that. 4 to 10. You can go out, have a good time.
Night market.
Ooh, I like this.
Yeah, we actually, we have the Shriners. They provide our beer and wine.
Sell beer?
And that's a good cause. The Shriners.
Exactly.
Yeah. Good cause. They're great.
Live music?
Live music, yeah.
Are you going to be performing at any of these?
That's where I'm
Someone doesn't show up.
So, to kind of give you guys a flash forward for July. I want to do a peace rally theme for the Keno Nite Market, and just trying to get a bunch of more performers that do positive music. And so I was thinking about getting up there myself because I have some positive songs, I guess.
I think that would be great. Awesome. If somebody wants to vend or sponsor, what do they do?
Sure. If you are on Facebook, the easiest way probably reach out to the In Crowd on Facebook, in our inbox, and just message us. We'll send you the information you need to get started with the process from there. Or you can reach out to the InCrowdWisconsin at gmail.com and just send us an email, whatever you're looking for. If you're looking for information, or if you want to help out, that would be the place to do it.
Well, that's great. Let's fill the Bandshell with sponsors and vendors. I mean, I think what you're doing is great for the community. It really is. I mean, nobody else is kind of doing something like that. You have your harbor market, you have your public market, you have your spiritual market. There's nothing at night.
Exactly.
And now that you throw beer in there, I'll definitely be there.
And I feel like it's just, highlighting Kenosha's diversity. That's my main thing. It's like on the business on the business level, on the artistic level, and then on the community front. Like, it's just showing that we can come together and have a good time. We can support one another, and there's not going to be any issues, you know? I think, like, looking at things after the protests, I think you asked me this question earlier. Do I think things are in a better place? I don't necessarily think things change so much. I think there's more of an awareness of things. And so, like, it's up to the people's actions now to determine where things are going to go. And so for me, instead of just sitting back and complaining and looking from the sidelines and saying, oh, that person isn't doing this right, or that person needs to be doing this, or they need to do this. This was me stepping up and saying, instead of complaining, I'm going to put in some action, you know what I mean, to change things, to be the change that I want to see.
That's awesome. Hell yeah.
That is great.
That's the Keno Nite Market every fourth Saturday this month. Come up June 22nd at the Penoyer Park Bandshell.
Yes, follow the In Crowd on Facebook to learn more.
And we'll be right back to wrap things up with some Kenosha Connects and some trivia with Jaramie Bentley of the In Crowd.
Hey, where are you going?
I'm getting down to Frank's Diner. They're only open for breakfast and lunch, so I gotta hurry.
What do they have down there, Jason?
Amazing food. They have their world-famous garbage plates, but so much more. Fantastic homemade French toast, delicious sandwiches for lunch, and be sure to check out their daily specials. They're always coming up with something new and different.
That's Frank's Diner, located in downtown Kenosha at 508 58th Street. Whether you're buying, selling, or just curious about the local market, Shannon Franklin of Remax Newport Elite would love to offer her support and service.
Shannon knows Kenosha both as an agent and a neighbor, and she can help you find exactly what you're looking for.
Find her realtor webpage at remax.com or give her a call at 262-960-5182 to begin your real estate journey. And we're back from that break.
And what an amazing break that was, Donnie?
That was refreshing.
And
now it's time for Kenosha Connects.
It is, and Kenosha Connects is brought to you this week by A.H. Did It.
What's up, Aaron?
Yeah, when you're looking for that perfect gift for yourself or another, contact Aaron Hunzinger of A.H. Did It for a fabulous, one-of-a-kind creation. Aaron specializes in metal, canvas, leather, and wood, and brings amazing works of art to life.
He really does.
He made this sign right here.
Beautiful sign that he made.
This beautiful sign that lights up the A Plus Mobility Ktown Connect Studios. You can contact him now by finding him on Facebook at AH Did It. That's all one word. And you can see what he can create for you. Also, check out AH Did It at this summer's Kenosha Art Market.
Yes, he's going to be there. That's starting soon. We should get him a vendor spot at the Keno Nite Market. That would be great.
AH Did It.
Shout out AH.
Yeah, good old Aaron. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, he is. He's a great man.
Yeah.
All right, Jaramie, you ready for our Kenosha Connects questions?
Let's do it.
Your favorite local musician today or all time? Local.
My favorite local musician is sitting right next to me to my left right now.
Oh.
He would go by the name of Goonie 2.0.
Goonie.
Hey, he's here. Sorry, there's no mic.
Yeah.
It's left at Union Park Tavern.
Lean in if you want to say what's up.
You say what's up on that mic.
Yo, what up?
Hey, Goonie.
All right, where in Kenosha would you recommend someone going on a first date?
Ooh, first date.
Keno Nite Market.
I would say, taking a nice stroll, maybe starting off getting some drinks and some appetizers at Captain Mike's. And then from there, walking on down by the lake. And maybe if you feel like walking, you can walk on down by the band shell and, check out the Keno Nite Market.
Yes.
And,
June 22nd?
June 22nd. I mean, yeah. There'll definitely be a nice setting, nice backdrop of the lake with the moon over it,
Oh, for sure.
I would definitely put out if that was a first date for me.
Donnie, what do you do on June 22nd? All right, Jeremy. In which Kenosha bar do you think you spent the most money in? You get out much? You get the bars?
I'm going to have to say...
I mean, we're not going to check your bank accounts or anything like that.
Well, I'm just trying to think about where I'm not a regular at any certain place,
Okay.
I would probably have to say it would have been at Finney's when it was right there at that location.
Okay.
I spent so much time there because I did events there. So
Back then, yeah. Cool.
Yep, that would probably be it.
Nice.
All right, what is your favorite annual Kenosha event?
Besides the Keno Nite Market.
Besides the Keno Nite Market.
Can't plug it again. We'll plug it later.
That would probably be the Juneteenth celebration that they have over on 52nd and 15th Court. I think
13th Court.
13th, right across from the Boys and Girls Club. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's Alvin Owens is my cousin, and he puts on that event, and I think it's a necessary thing for the city.
Fun event.
Yeah, it definitely is.
We were at that one last year, weren't we?
Yeah,
Me and you walked over there.
Yeah.
Yep. So this year, they're going to actually partner with the Keno Nite Market for the Juneteenth. So
nice.
they'll have the event where it usually is, but then on the 22nd, they'll have the celebration as far as the entertainment. We're going to do some Juneteenth stuff. So
Okay.
Yep, we'll be combining it.
When he was on the show, it was a great episode. That was many years ago.
Which one? Alvin?
Yeah.
Was it that long ago?
And we did it during the day,
Was that
didn't
last
we?
June? No, it was 2 years ago.
No, it was 2 years ago, yeah. That was a great, he was a great interview.
Yeah, he's
Not
fun.
as good as you, though.
Oh,
okay,
no.
all right.
Well, we didn't drink nearly as much with
I'm still trying to get to that level as far as like influence and experience. Like he just.
You're a rising star.
I guess you can say that.
That's what I love to see about the young people like you and like the guys, the Beachfront Arts Fest, like Bryce and them. I love to see these new young people come up and building these events and coming up and doing these new things because these old people are running this stuff and they've been doing good on that, but they're dying off.
They're dinosaurs, and
I ain't gonna run these events, so I want these new kids to come up and doing this stuff. So
you guys make me feel good. I'm not that young.
You look young.
I'm 50, so you're young.
I'm 43. So.
I'll be 40 next year.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
Well, you look younger than that.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you,
yes,
thank
you
you. I hide my stress well.
Yeah, right. Oh boy, here's one. What is one thing you wish you could change about Kenosha?
Phew. Yeah, one thing I guess I would say was more acceptance of different ways of life and cultures. I feel like in a way it's getting there, but I just feel like in the mainstream of things, as far as like what we promote as the image of Kenosha, it doesn't represent the diversity that actually is in Kenosha. Okay.
So how does someone work towards that happening?
I think just
a general listener or us or, anybody out there.
I feel like, just taking steps to get outside of your comfort zone, some important things that you probably normally wouldn't do. I feel like we all in Kenosha, no matter what demographic or gender or whatever you fall into, we kind of get into our comfort zones where we only do the things that we're used to doing on a daily basis. And, I see events sometimes that I'm like, oh, I would like to go support that, but I probably wouldn't just because I don't know anybody there. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the start of it, is like getting out and engaging with people in the community and just kind of seeing where you fit in.
Yeah, and grab a friend and come on down to the Keno Nite Market.
Yes, please do.
And you have some fun. Make some new friends.
Yes,
exactly.
Everybody can need new friends, right? Yeah. All right, what now closed Kenosha business do you wish you could bring back?
I'm going to say two places. Is that okay?
Yeah,
sure.
It's your show.
Yeah. The best sandwiches, I don't even eat any meat anymore, but Max Deli and then Hungry Heads, they used to have really good sandwiches and,
back in your meat eating days. Yep. Yeah, okay. All right. That's a good answer.
Those were pretty good.
Those are a good answer.
Those were good.
All right, now the final Kenosha Connect segment question, the big question, the big debate, big star of the spot.
Ooh. Well, I'm just going to go with the spot.
All right.
Because, man, that Velveeta cheese, it's big. That's just nasty as hell.
Really?
Why would you put that on a sandwich? Like that's just like
it's
wrong,
all melty
man.
And yummy. It melts in your mouth, man.
It's just too rich.
It's good shit. No. It's good shit once in a while,
Yeah, I consider myself like a foodie. I consider myself a foodie, and it's just too rich, man. It's too much.
Well, I can't argue with that. It's still good. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying.
All right, that was our Kenosha Connects, brought to you by AH Did It. Thank you, Aaron Hunzinger of AH Did It, for that segment.
And thanks. And what time is it now, Donnie?
Ding, ding, ding. It's trivia time. And trivia is brought to you by The Letter Machine. They're located at 725 50th Street. They can customize almost anything. Uniforms, gifts, accessories, school apparel, office attire, you name it, they can do it. Also, check out their online novelty shop at theletteringmachine.com, as they have some awesome ready-made designs just for you and you and you. Check out The Lettering Machine.
All right, for our trivia segment today, Donnie's going to take on our guest on this 100% legitimate, definitely not skewered,
like that radio voice?
on the level, totally fair trivia game. And this week's completely random subject, and not catered to the guest bit, is NBA trivia. But Donnie knows his shit, though. So
do I?
So I got 3 questions for each of you. We'll do a little trivia here.
For sure.
Let's see if you can beat Donnie here. Okay. Would you like to go first? Or like to pass it to Donnie?
Man, let Donnie go first.
All right, Donnie. Donnie?
Yep, let's do this.
Bill Walton, former UCLA champion, NBA Hall of Famer, and longtime sportscaster, died just recently.
Rest in peace.
He played for 3 NBA teams in his career. Name all 3.
Jazz, Lakers, Celtics.
Nope.
No, I f***ed one of those up. What?
Them all up. No, you got one. You got one.
Lakers?
Blazers.
God, Blazers.
Blazers, Celtics. Oh, I don't know the third.
That's all right. You're better than him. You got 2 of them. That doesn't matter. Donnie, you're wrong.
Wrong? Jesus Christ.
Blazers, Clippers, and Celtics. You got Celtics.
Clippers. How long did he play for the Clippers for?
Long enough for them to be San Diego and LA.
Oh, okay.
There was a few years in both. I looked it up.
Okay.
It was long enough to actually, count.
He was a real hippie, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Big pothead?
Yeah, and he was a fun announcer. He was fun.
I liked him.
Yeah.
All right, Jeremy, here's your first one.
Okay.
In 2001, GOAT NBA star Michael Jordan came out of retirement and played 2 seasons with which NBA team?
Christ.
I want to make sure I pick the right team because I know they changed their name. The Washington Wizards.
You got it.
Okay.
Yay!
Donnie, your second question here?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, that first one was easy. I don't know how I f***ed it up.
Yeah, I know. The ABA, the American Basketball Association, ran from 1967 to 76. And when it dissolved, 4 teams joined the NBA. Mm-hmm. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Of these 4 teams, which one was the first to win an NBA championship?
I think I know the answer.
You can just say you don't know. You just take up airspace.
I
here.
don't. I want the Golden State Warriors.
Okay. That's wrong.
Okay.
Do you have a guess?
I think it's the New Jersey Nets.
I'm sorry. It's the San Antonio Spurs.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Okay.
It's okay. Jeremy, you're still up 1-0. So, Question 2 for you, Jeremy. The Basketball Association of America launched in 1946 and later was known with the NBA. Of the 11 original teams, only 2 remain that have never changed their name or moved locations. Name one of them. The very originals.
The New York Knickerbockers.
You got it. Them and the Celtics.
Oh.
Good call. Up 2-0.
That Knickerbockers one's always a tricky one. A lot of people don't know that's their real name.
All right, Donnie.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Here's your third question. If you get this right, I'll give you 1.5 points.
Oh, boy.
And you're still down 2-0, but.
All right.
In the 1985-86 season, the Celtics finished with a 67-15 record, including a 40-1 record at home. Which was the one team that beat the Celtics at home that season?
The Lakers.
I'm sorry, that's the Portland Trail Blazers.
Oh.
Donnie didn't get any of these. I was expecting more from you. You're a basketball fan, dude.
Yeah, well, I'm actually out of the loop on basketball. Yesterday I had to Google.
This is from 1985.
I was 5 years old.
Yeah. All right, I'll give you the last one here, Jeremy. You see me get all 3. With 6 championships total, which NBA team is known for never losing an NBA Finals series?
That would be the Chicago Bulls.
And you got
The greatest team of all time.
You got it.
I'm going to be honest, Donnie, that felt a little bit slanted towards my
No, it's
side.
totally legit. It's totally legit. Come on.
No 92 Dream
Those
Team
are just
questions
totally
in there
randomly
for me?
pulled. That was just randomly pulled. Not. They weren't secured one bit. We don't do that. I would never hit this shot, Donnie. He's naturally never won or won like 3 games.
I
in 100.
did beat the former mayor when he was on the
Oh.
show. Yes, in MASH trivia, the TV show MASH.
I think that one victory right there adds up to like 10.
Yeah.
So he's like 10 and 120.
All right. Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us. Let's give another plug to the Keno Nite Market. It's every 4th Saturday of the month, June 22nd, July 27th, August 24th, September 28th at the Band Shell.
What's the plans for the winter? Going to move back to the road, are you thinking?
Yeah, going back to the vault, actually.
Oh, the vault. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be at the vault.
That's a beautiful room.
I love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So beautiful outside to beautiful inside. And I just want everybody to know everybody's welcome. You know what I mean? That's what I want to community, no matter what your income, whatever the demographic you fall into. Hey, this is a place for everybody.
Yeah, come hang out. Have a good time.
Check out the In Crowd on Facebook. And hey, just learn everything that Jeremy is doing for the community.
So let's get one last plug in for this coming June 22nd.
Yes.
Coming up in a couple of weeks. Can you name off what kind of music and what kind of vendors and can you throw a few names out real quick?
Sure. So I know one vendor that everybody will know is Standing Room Only.
Oh, love those steaks. Oh.
Yep, they vended with us on the first outdoor market, so they'll be back again. Our artist that I'm working on securing right now, I think that I have it so I can mention his name and then put a little pressure on him.
Okay.
Is Roger Randall.
Oh,
Yes, he is great.
Yep. So I'm gonna try to bring him out and do some things. And I'm trying to think of another vendor you guys might know. Oh, well, Beauty from the Root will be there.
Oh,
You know,
very nice.
So my girlfriend will be there with her products, and it'll be a lot of other great vendors as well.
You got to convince Jason Hedman-Art to be there.
I'm thinking about it.
Okay, all right.
So
Put a little pressure on
I
him.
might be able to give you a discount.
I'm not interested in this. I said check my calendar. That's the thing. I'm a busy guy.
We want to see everybody there at the Keno Nite Market.
Yeah, for sure.
It's going to be great. It always is. And we look forward to everything that you're going to do with the In Crowd.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming, dear.
Thank you.
Had a great time.
And you know what?
And shout out to his buddy Goonie over here.
Oh, yes. Hey. Oh, you want to give a plug real quick for your music?
Yeah, man. I'm Goonie 2.0. You can find me on Facebook, Goonie Van. On YouTube, Goonie 2.0.
Wonderful.
Yay.
All right, you know what? You can find this episode and many other episodes of the Ktown Next podcast on Spectrum Channel 14 and the Kenosha Community Media streaming channel on the Roku box every Wednesday at 11 a.m. and Sunday at 5 p.m. Hey, look, Mom, I'm on TV.
That's right. Don't forget to follow the Ktown Next podcast on all those social media sites. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, X,
TikTok.
YZ. Drop TikTok. Oh, yeah, you're doing some great TikTok stuff, Donnie. You're doing wonderful work.
Thank you.
Give us a 5-star review, thumbs up, whatever you do. This episode is brought to you by our Patreon subscriber of the week, and that is Nadia Ellers. So thank you, Nadia, for all your support. She was in our studio for some Patreon material recently.
Yes, thank you for your support.
So if you out there would like to become a Patreon subscriber, you can visit ktownconnects.com. The subscription starts just $2 a month. And
What?
that gets you
$2? That's it?
$2. That's it, Donnie. And that gets you everything. It's early access of every episode, raw, unedited form. You get an hour and a half of us talking here with Jaramie.
I love it.
You get our bonus episode, Is What It Is.
Yes, and I heard you got some real dirt coming up on this episode.
Me? No,
You.
never. I'm the nice guy. But that's for Patreons. Join us for $2 a month at ktownconnects.com.
All right, let's thank all of our wonderful sponsors where we could not do this show without them. A-Plus Mobility.
Union Park Tavern.
Aaron Hunzinger of AH Did It.
Casey Family Options Funerals and Cremations.
About Time Movers.
Law Offices of Frank J. Parise.
Public Craft Brewing Company.
The Lettering Machine.
Frank Steiner.
Shannon Franklin of Remax Elite.
Rocket Optical Eyewear.
Vintage Underground.
Wink Beauty Boutique.
And where I'm probably going to go after this, the Port of Kenosha Beverage House.
Thank you all so much. Great show. Thank you, Jaramie and Jason. I'm trying to figure out, what are we doing on this show?
Well, thanks, Jaramie, so much for being here. You were great. Good times. What are we doing?
Are Connecting Kenosha.